In 1136, something very strange happened in the English village of Woolpit, and when I say strange, I mean so strange that even today no one can agree on what really went down. What we know comes from a single contemporary report written by a cleric who was troubled by the events he witnessed. He wrote that one day as the villagers were out harvesting in the fields, they saw something that made them drop their tools and stare in amazement. Two children had appeared who were green in color and didn't seem to belong to this world. They were tending to a small fire and cooking food in a pot, and when they weren't cooking, they would speak to each other in a language the villagers didn't understand. The children stayed in the fields all day, dancing, singing, and playing games. And at night, they slept under the open sky, seemingly unbothered by the cold. A local farmer eventually approached them and asked what they wanted, to which the children replied, "We want no gifts, but if you will, bring us victuals." So the farmer brought them bread and cheese, which they ate greedily. Then the farmer took them to see the local priest, after which they were given clothes and taken to live in a nearby house. The boy was about 12 years old and dressed in green clothes, while the girl was around 8 and dressed in red. Throughout their stay in the village, people were fascinated by the children, not just because of their unusual appearance, but also because of their strange behavior. For example, the children refused to eat anything except for bread, cheese, and milk. They also seemed terrified of birds, which may have contributed to the widespread belief that they were, in fact, elves or goblins. Some people even claimed to have seen tiny horns growing out of the boy's head. After about a month, the boy died, which upset the villagers who apparently liked him more than the girl. They buried him in the church, where a crowd of people gathered to watch. But the girl remained in the village. And after some time, she started to look less green and more like a normal human being. After 5 months, she was completely assimilated and now able to speak English. Told the townspeople that she and her brother hadn't come from this world, but from a faraway and dim other land. She said that there were many lands beyond the sunset, and they had sailed to England in a boat. But when they arrived, they found that everyone here was a different color and spoke a different language. So they decided to travel to the land of the living dead, where everyone looked like them and life was free from pain and sorrow. So the children wandered through England for a long time until they reached the village of Woolpit, where they finally met a friendly farmer who helped them. But after spending some time in our world, the girl realized that she actually preferred living in her own world, and so she sailed home. And that's how the story of the green children of Woolpit ends. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it never even began. Some historians have suggested that the entire story was fabricated by the cleric who wrote it down, while others say that the whole thing was a hoax perpetrated by 2 traveling performers. There's even a theory that the green children were, in fact, lepers, and that their strange behavior was caused by the effects of leprosy. But the most popular explanation is that the 2 children really did come from somewhere else, perhaps Ireland or a remote village in Scotland. Back then, people often wore green and red tunics, and the colors may have appeared vivid to someone who hadn't seen them before. As for their strange language, it could have been a local dialect that the English cleric didn't understand. Whatever the case, the story of the green children of Woolpit has endured for almost 900 years, serving as an explanation for people who arrive in places they don't belong, people who act in strange ways, and people who don't speak the local language. It's also a reminder of the anxieties felt by people living 1,000 years ago who, just like us, were afraid of the unfamiliar and the things that go bump in the night.